Hello, my name is Lee Presser. This is my show. I speak frequently to very interesting people. Some of these conversations are so exciting, so intellectually stimulating, I thought others might like to listen in. This is the reason we started recording Conversation with Lee Presser.
Welcome to Conversation with Lee Presser. My guest today is Omer Osman, Deputy Director of Highways, Illinois Department of Transportation, Region 5. Region 5 includes Metro East and a large portion of Southern Illinois. Mr. Osman became Acting Deputy Director, Region 5 Engineer in August 2011, following the departure of Deputy Director Mary Lamie. He was made the Permanent Deputy Director January of 2012. Streets and highways are the places more people intersect with government than any other. When you're driving on a state highway or an interstate in Illinois, the Illinois Department of Transportation is managing that public service. Today, we're going to discuss the condition of our highways and future transportation plans. Omer Osman, welcome to Conversation.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Congratulations, by the way, on your
Thank
appointment.
you.
We haven't had you here since your appointment, and we're very pleased. We've had all of your predecessors, and so welcome.
Well, thank you.
Now, you just a little history of yourself.
Okay.
Just tell us, you've been with IDOT for quite a long time. What have you done with IDOT to earn you the position of Deputy Director of Region 5?
Well, since graduating from Louisiana State University and Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, that was in the late 80s, 1989 actually. I started working for the department in June 1st of 1989 in District 4, Peoria, Illinois. And as a young engineer, back then I came through the rank, doing various duties, resident engineer out in the field, doing design work, doing environmental work, and I came through the rank to various positions where I became a construction engineer in the district and then operations engineer, and I was lucky enough to be appointed to be the Deputy Director in Region 5, which is District 8 and 9.
Yeah, and it was kind of unexpected. I didn't know that Mary Lamie was planning to leave, and I guess she found another opportunity somewhere else in life.
And she has, and she's very happy where she's at. But
I bet you are too now.
Well, I get a huge shoes to fill. Mary is one of my mentors. She knew a lot, and she knows a lot about the transportation issues in the region here, particularly in St. Clair and Madison County areas, and all the way into the Indiana County line, which is District 9, Carbondale area. So.
Yeah, as you know, the Mississippi River Bridge has been an issue in this area for many decades now. Actually, I remember Dale Clure back in the early 1990s when they were first doing some of the very first design studies of that. And now here we are actually in construction right now, although this particular bridge is not quite the concept that was originally envisioned, is it? Right.
It's not, and all that is due to funding. The original concept envisioned a much wider bridge,
yes,
more lanes to it, a lot of other work that's not included in the MRB, that's the Mississippi River Bridge, such as the Route 3 expansion all the way to Sojay, some other work. It was supposed to have been a $2 billion project altogether. But the funding constraints, it just led us, we had to scale back. Now we're looking at $650 million worth of work, which is what we see out there today. As you might have noticed, the towers are up, 400 feet of it. And if you had the chance to actually visit the job site, you'll see the deck panel in itself is being erected on the main span. There is a lot of work on the Illinois approach side, all the way from the tri-level area coming into the bridge and leading to it. And we do have a lot of contracts or ongoing construction work on the Missouri side still. So.
Have you begun any work on the approach from 70 leading to the bridge, or is that yet to come?
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of work going on. There is at least 15 active contracts. If you leave the main span alone and come to the Illinois side, there are several contracts, including the curved bridge and how the tri-level itself, how I-70 itself is going to split from the tri-level area and become the new I-70 leading you into the bridge.
And about what percentage of the total work is done now?
Well, I would say, first of all, early 2014 is when we anticipate the entire contracts,
Right.
including the main span, to be completed. I could tell you out on the Illinois side, we had 32 contracts. There's 15 of them ongoing today.
Yes.
There are several that we have completed. Some of them were minor contracts, such as the initial work, the demolition work, a little bit of site prep work, but the major ones are ongoing right now. I would assume, or I would anticipate rather, in the winter of 2014, early 2014, the main span itself will be finished. Everything is going to be connected to it. The Illinois side, the curved bridge, is going to be connected to it then, by then. And I would say we are about 50% there, although the bulk of the work is still the main span and the approaches.
Now, of course, we talked earlier, just a minute or two ago, about the money, and there wasn't enough money to do the whole project as originally envisioned. The money is there to do the project as it's now envisioned. Is that right? It's in the bank, and there's not going to be any money issues with this.
Absolutely.
Are there any issues on the, because, you know, we got the Missouri people, MoDOT, that have a bunch of work that needs to be done.
Right.
You coordinate with them on a regular basis?
Absolutely. We have weekly meetings with with our friends on the other side of the river, with their engineers who are in charge of the MRB main span, and their side, and we exchange information. We update each other's on what progress is being made on either side of the river. And more importantly, we sit down and discuss potential problems, potential showstoppers, if I may say so, trying to negate it and navigate that issue right now.
And Ed Hassinger is part of these meetings?
Yes, he's in.
Just so people know, he's your opposite number on the St. Louis region.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Now, okay, so the bridge is underway, and hopefully in a couple more years it'll be all done and people will be able to...
Hopefully less.
Yeah, okay, and it'll be done, and as I understood, the reasoning for the bridge was to take some of the traffic that was going to Interstate 70 and at or near Illinois 203 to divert it towards basically where the Rams dome is, and cross somewhere near there, and therefore there isn't as much traffic going to be going across the Poplar Street Bridge.
Absolutely.
That was the reasoning?
Okay. That's the main reason. You see, Poplar Street Bridge is one of two bridges that actually carries 3 interstate, 55, 64, and 70. Today, Poplar Street Bridge, traffic going across the Poplar Street Bridge averages about 100,000. By the year 2035, we are estimating the traffic on Poplar Street Bridge is going to be close to 150,000. Obviously, that's not sustainable. It became imperative that we split some of that traffic and put it on the new bridge.
Now, as it is right now, when you're driving from Missouri into Illinois in the morning, let's just say we're talking, say, between the 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m., driving along, and you look on the other side, approach to the Poplar Street Bridge, and it's just an endless sea of headlights.
Yes,
cars barely moving along.
Yes, indeed.
What do you think will be the change once the new road and the new bridge open?
Obviously, a huge portion of traffic is going to be split from Poplar Street Bridge into the I-70 bridge. That does not mean we're going to have free flow on Poplar Street Bridge, which is imperative that we do something on the Poplar Street Bridge itself, on the interchange, particularly on the Missouri side, to make it easier, somewhat of a free flow for people specifically to navigate the area of the interchange as you go to the Arch, as you go south into 5544. That is still going to be an issue. And you may have heard recently that our governor, as late as yesterday, made a commitment for $25 million to help negate that issue. Along with providing $25 million, along with what Missouri MoDOT is providing to do an entire project on the interchange side, on the Missouri side, and also on eastbound and westbound Poplar Street.
Now, what's this interesting story that I read that they want to change the Poplar Street Bridge by literally sliding the deck over? Why don't you just explain from an engineering point of view what it is that they're trying to accomplish here?
In a simple term, we are looking at the westbound Poplar Street, or the eastbound rather.
So coming from Missouri
into Illinois. The bridge itself was built in the 1960s, but it's built in such a way where you could actually take the deck and move it over slightly.
So downriver.
Exactly. So you pull in it, basically you slide in the deck to the south. That would create about 9 feet. That's what we're looking for. Today, as it is, there's about 3 feet available in between eastbound and westbound.
Right.
Well, 3 plus 9 makes it 12 feet that we need for an extra lane. Once we create that gap, then we are able to put in another lane. Today is eastbound is around 4 lanes, then we try to make it 5 lanes. What would that do is going to provide space at the interchange on the Missouri side where those single ramps, the headlights you actually see on both sides, whether you're going eastbound or westbound, we're going to create more space for those single ramps to be taken out, and then we're going to start having dual ramps coming from 5544 into the bridge. And if you are going into Missouri, the ramp that takes you to 55 south to 5544 is going to be dual. You are still going to have the ramp that takes you to the Arch.
Now, are they going to change the curve radius? I mean, right now it's so dangerous that trucks literally have to go down to maybe like 10 miles an hour.
Absolutely, and that's one of the main reasons. It's difficult in an urban area to have as much space as you want. That's why we slide in that bridge to create more space. All these ramps are going to have new, better radiuses or radii, and traffic is going to be, instead of the 10 mile, I think we could upgrade them to 25 to 30 mile an hour. So it's going to be easier to navigate. Once you provide more lanes, that automatically increases the capacity of the entire interchange.
Now, are you going to be taking out the ramp that goes down to 70, going towards Kansas City, or is that ramp still going to be there, or is that? I guess that's not really you though. That's MoDOT, isn't it?
That's MoDOT, but the ramp that is going to be eliminated, the ramp that takes you from Memorial,
right, up on going towards Illinois,
coming toward Illinois. That's the ramp that needs to be eliminated.
Right.
Again, to provide space for the dual ramps to be, for MoDOT to be able to construct their dual ramps. But eliminating that ramp obviously eliminate access for Illinois, for people who want to come back to Illinois.
Right.
So as a result, the concept right now is we're going to, in the next few years, we're going to construct a new ramp from MLK Bridge into 5564 on the Illinois side. That ramp will be a replacement for the ramp that we have lost on the Missouri side.
Okay.
And it's going to make it obviously easier for people to go down on Route 3. It's in that Route 3 Tudor Pickett interchange area. That's where the ramp is going to connect. Then you could split off, especially trucks are going to be able to split off and go into Route 3 and all the way down to Cahokia, Sauget, East St. Louis area.
Understood.
Yes.
Now, what is going on over at the Chain of Rocks Bridge? There's been some construction going on there.
Right.
It looks like you're getting ready to build a new bridge.
And we are building a new bridge just north of the existing bridge today.
Why are we doing that?
Well, the old bridge is a 1962 bridge. It is old. It's taken us a lot of money to keep it upgraded, and the maintenance side of it is just eating up a lot of money from our normal program. And the existing bridge is still good to drive on. However, this mandated that just looking at it and looking at the future, we had the ability to garner $110 million is what we had for the new bridge, to garner that kind of funding and put it in on a new bridge. And at some point in time, the old bridge as we see it today is going to be gone. We're going to remove
and here I thought maybe they were just going to create more lanes so that you have more lanes going
no,
both
actually,
ways.
the new bridge is still going to have 3 lanes either direction. However, 270 today, I-270 has 2 lanes either direction. So what we're going to do is, after we construct the new bridge, we're going to stripe it for 2 lanes. And you're going to have a wide shoulder at some point in time in the future, once the 270, the entire interchange all the way across to the long bridge, which is the one over the Mississippi River, is redone. And we are hoping that entire area, it is 6 lanes, 3 either direction. Then we already have an extra lane on the Chain of Rocks.
Okay, and I know this all takes a whole lot of money, and money's pretty short, especially for Illinois right now, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
New realities.
Yes.
So talking about short money, how's maintenance, and I know this show actually focuses on the Metro East area as opposed to the rest of your district. So we're gonna talk about here, not there.
Okay.
But you mentioned Illinois 3,
Right.
which at one time was kind of, especially when you were coming from 270, heading towards 70, was really a weird road. And I don't know if you drove on it years ago or not, but you're in and out of these little towns, and it was, putting trucks through there was pretty horrible. There are upgrades that have been made and more to come. Is that right?
That is true. You see, part of the entire MRB project at Exchange Avenue, there's a new interchange that takes you into Route 3. Hopefully next year there is a new contract. We're talking about the East St. Louis area now.
Yes. There
is a new contract we are hoping to get out for letting that takes you from the new interchange area into River Park Drive. That funding is there and is committed. The non-funding portion of it is what takes you from River Park Drive all the way down to the Sauget area. Now, there are 2 plans. We could either have 2 lanes at $80 million or 4 lanes at $150 million. That portion is not funded. We are hoping to, at some point in time, to secure funding for that portion. That is going to be a huge relief for that entire area. Today, there are a lot of activities going on in the riverfront, Sauget, Cahokia, East St. Louis area. There's a lot of businesses that are trying to tap into that area. The port facilities, there's a lot of work, ongoing construction work. The new Route 3, if we could garner the funding for it, is going to be immensely important for those businesses.
Well, Route 3 is an important road, although people might not recognize it from the condition it's been in.
Right.
But, for example, you've got the Port District that I think it's Madison County runs this Port District. We had the gentleman here, Mr. Wilsmeyer.
America Central Port.
Yes. And of course, if you're having heavy trucks coming in and out of there,
right,
especially carrying cargo to and especially from, you need good roads in order to run those trucks to interstate highways.
Absolutely.
And so that's part of the reason why you're needing to spend this money for business activities, not just for show.
And not only that, I have toured the port facilities twice. That's one of the unique areas. When you talk about modes of transportation and multimodal, that is a picture-perfect location for multimodal when it comes within the port facilities. You're looking at railroads.
Yes.
Obviously, at the port, you're looking at the levee issues, you're looking at the port issues, you're looking at Lock and Dam 27, and then you get Route 3 right next to it. This is true multimodal facilities. And that port is specifically is generating a lot of employment for that community.
Now, this port is still not a container port, is it?
It's I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's not
about the container
but they
part
really
of
need to get they need money to do that.
They sure do need money. There is what today they are constructing a South Harbor portion of it, which is a huge. It is going to be immensely expanding that entire port facilities. But you can't have a port or a facility like that just sitting out of nowhere. You're going to need connections to it.
Exactly.
Route 3 work, expansion of Route 3, or the access in and out of the port facility is hugely important for people to easily navigate the port, the commerce, the shipping, the containers, everything that's within the port facility.
I don't think that people follow this as much as you and I might follow it. I don't think they understand that there is now this movement to bring goods up from New Orleans or from the Gulf of Mexico up the Mississippi River to our Interstate Highway 70 and the other routes, offload there and then put stuff on trucks because it's cheaper to do it that way than to run them from the coast on trucks.
Absolutely, and it's not only the New Orleans port. It's a byproduct of the expansion of the Panama Canal that's ongoing today. There are a lot of ports are going to be affected. Our region here, Memphis, New Orleans itself, there's a lot of expansion going on all the way along the Mississippi River. If we're not ready, once the Panama Canal expansion is done and we get more traffic on the river, if we're not ready with our own port facilities, then we'll have trouble. So that's why you see in all this expansion in preparation for the actual completion of the Panama Canal expansion.
I don't know, you have nothing to do with this as the Corps of Engineers, but boy, water levels were a real problem this year. And if we're going to be in that business of taking cargo up the Mississippi River, we really need to have better control of that water.
Well, absolutely. But this year might have been a fluke year, so to speak. Usually, when you look at the water level, you're looking at a 100-year cycle, a 5-year cycle. But better control of the water of the lock and dam obviously is critical for shipping.
So what other major projects do you have in the Metro East area that are either ongoing or are in the planning stage?
I could talk in general, and I know you alluded just to Metro East.
And you got 5 minutes to do it.
In general, for District 8, I could tell you I have 138 active contracts, small to large. It is today is totaling about $666 million, and that's not a joke. $666 million, and that's what we got going on out there. But if I may, the 255 expansion around Alto, around the Alton area, that is from Seminary Street to Route 111. That portion is almost complete. This Friday coming up, there are a couple of days down the road, I'm talking about October 26th, we're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony for a portion of it, and that area is ready to go today. There are other portions we are working on all the way into Delhi area. Some of it will be done next year. Some of it is in planning stage. Some are in design stage, which is the stage right prior to construction. So that's one important project we are working on today. That's in the Madison area. We have a couple of good projects around the Belleville area. There's a couple of roundabout we are constructing on Illinois 15 area, just at the southern edge of Belleville. That's an important area, important project. There's one project we are just about done with, maybe perhaps in a couple of months. That's Route 3 between, there's a bridge that goes over a canal, and it does go over a railroad. That's between Soldier and Cahokia. That area has been closed for quite a while. Fortunately, the contractor is 6 months ahead of themselves, ahead of their schedule. So instead of opening it up next summer, now we're looking at maybe perhaps in a month and a half or two, we are able to open that project to traffic.
I was told by a friend of mine to ask you a specific question about what is the story with the work 70 at Troy. I mean, it's just,
Troy.
Yeah, I mean, it's been going on for like ever, and it seems like it's not going very fast.
Well, it has been going on for quite a while.
So that's Illinois 162.
Right, that's the Troy interchange area. It has been going on for quite a while, much longer than what we actually, meaning IDOT and the contractor, had anticipated. What we had at some point in time, early this summer, we had a buildup for the new ramp. It delayed us, the buildup, the dirt buildup itself delayed up. Once you build it up to such a high elevation, you have to wait on it to settle.
Right.
So we had our measuring equipment out there, and it kept settling more than what we expected. So we actually needed to wait until we
put more dirt on there?
No, actually, until we are absolutely sure that settlement has stopped, and it takes time.
Right.
That is one of the major causes of the delay. The other side of it is that is a total redo of that entire interchange. Today it is wide open. A lot of traffic is still driving on it today. There's a huge portion of it we have completed and we opened up to traffic. And as such, once you get a lot of smaller activities is what is delaying us. There are small areas of concrete you have to pour here, then you move on over to the other side and pour this small area. So productivity is not there today. It's not like when you have miles and miles of road to do that's wide open. So you jump from one place to another, and that takes time. But fortunately, middle of next month, we are hoping the contractor will be done.
This is November you're talking about?
Yes, November we are talking about. Mid to late next month, hopefully the contractor will be done. Right now they are doing small areas of concrete, and hopefully we're going to start doing a little bit of asphalt work on the Troy side of it, or on the east side of it. There's a lot of asphalt work we are yet to do. Once we are done with that, and we are done with completely striping the entire area, then we are done.
Very good. We're going to have you back because there's so much more that needs to be talked about so that people know what's going on. Thank you very much for being with us. I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
And to my audience, I've been speaking with Omer Osman. He is the Deputy Director of IDOT for Region 5, that's District 8. But basically for you who are watching, that would be the Metro East St. Louis area. Thank you very much. See you next time.